All right, guys. Fula coming to you with another video, another commentary video. Uh, as a which one- how should I put it? As a precaution to this video, I want to say that I'm not talking about all black women. First and foremost, I would be foolish to put all black women under the bus. I'm just talking about mostly the Western black woman, and especially the California black woman. Okay, especially that. All right. Again, I'm not talking about all black women. All right. I'm not grouping them all together, but I'm just saying from what you see and what is out here on these streets, this is what you see. So if I offend you, then maybe you need to check yourself. Okay. But I'm going to be reacting to this and giving my opinion on the things that she's saying.
Pretty girls and how they're never approached. And it's true. Like, I was just out at a bar.
Okay. The first thing is there's a difference between being confident and there's a difference between being conceited. A lot of these black women out here, because they've been put on a pedestal by simps and beta males, I'm with my queen. I got to get my queen right. Got to get my goddess right. Because they have been fed that, their egos are so inflated that they think that they're pretty already. Whereas, and this is why 9 times out of, in fact, not 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, I'm going to marry a Muslim woman who's Muslim like myself. The thing is that when you look at black women, for the most part, because their heads have been pumped up by these people, their egos are so inflated that they feel this way right off the bat. For example, I'm not going to even say his name, but you already, in fact, there's 3 of them. I'm not going to mention their names. You know who they are. I don't need to talk about them. But you have people who say the black woman is God. When you say things like that, unfortunately, they start to believe it. And I say this because you shouldn't think of yourself as attractive. You shouldn't think of yourself as, pretty or anything like that. Because, number one, looks don't last, okay? The looks don't last. A good character and a strong foundation and a good heart will last way longer than looks. Number 2, you're only an accident away. You're only a hazard away. You're only maybe like a tragedy away where your looks can be taken from you. And that's the thing. That's why I say what I'm saying right now, because in this world we live in, the only thing certain is death, but everything else is uncertain in this world. So my problem right off the back from her is she already thinks she's pretty. She already thinks that guy should be checking for her, when in reality, in just my opinion, she's average in my opinion. But let's continue.
Black men were there. None of them talked to my friends and I. All pretty girls, black girls, none.
And the reason why the black men didn't talk to the girl, your friends, or you, is because they knew what to expect. The thing is about these modern women today is as I've said in previous videos, they like to have their cake and eat it too. On one hand, they play this game where they say, oh, no guys approach me. Oh, no guys approach me, and things like that. But when a guy does approach them, they and usually 9 times out of 10 insult that guy, 9 times out of 10 embarrass that guy, and 9 times out of 10 just giggle and laugh about it amongst their girlfriends that and talk about that guy. Like, you see how pitiful that dude was who tried to approach us, who tried to talk to us. And I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why they do it is to not only give them an ego boost, but just let them know that they still have it. You know what I mean? That's why they in essence want guys to approach them. They're not trying to find something real. That's just the bottom line. If they wanted to find something real, they wouldn't be in a club in the first place. I can only count on one hand how many of my friends have gotten married finding a woman in the club. Only on one hand. So if they were serious about something, they wouldn't be at a club looking for it. Right? And the thing is guys don't want their ego dented. For some guys, it's a numbers game where they approach, and they may get no's. But in other guys, it's just like a one and done. After they approach them and then the women are shady towards them, it's like, why waste your time? You know? And honestly, and this is just from what I see personally, this is just from what I see out here on these streets. Black women, for the most part, have their noses already stuck up at you. You know, they just have, for some reason, they just have their noses already stuck up at you. So it's like, okay, well, since you're already looking at me in such a nasty way, like, why am I going to waste my time? You know, I got better things to do. You know, I got a plan to carry out. I'm not going to waste my time trying to approach you if you're already from the offset sticking your nose up at me. You know, and what they'll do is they'll try to flip it and say, oh, you can't handle a strong woman. No, we can't handle a toxic woman. Our lives are hard enough as it is, trying to progress and trying to level up. We don't need our woman to be nagging us and having a toxic behavior with, in addition to the things we're going through in life, trying to get to the next level. Let's continue.
It's like people say, like, finding someone to have sex with you, to take you out to eat, to compliment you is not hard. I can go on these apps clearly and find someone that's ready to have sex with me tonight, right now, without even knowing my.
And that's what she does. I mean, that's what she does. And I'm pretty sure there were dudes who probably tried to approach her in the past and things like that. And I don't know her backstory, but I'm just taking a guess from how she's talking. I'm reading from how she's talking about this situation. What I guess is that since she is familiar with those apps and she talked about those apps, what I'm thinking is that there was probably dudes in the past who approached her, but they weren't like of the caliber that she wanted. And, you know, maybe one of those dudes she kept on the side and kept in the chamber and was getting wined and dined. However, she rode cock carousels with another dude who maybe had more of a backbone than the one she had in the chamber. That's what I believe happened because of the way she's talking about how there's apps. You know what I mean? If you were a let's just say a pure woman, then I don't think you would even be familiar with these kind of aspects of a dating app. But let's continue.
Last name literally does not know if I've just got rid of an STD yesterday, but is definitely willing to have sex with me right now. But finding someone that like is willing to check on me when I say I'm having a bad day, that's too much.
It is too much because that's what you guys wanted. You know, you guys didn't want the old school man. You guys weren't raised to deal with the old school man. You guys weren't raised to deal with the guy who looks after his women folk. You weren't raised to deal with a guy who maybe genuinely has an interest in building something with you. You guys weren't raised to deal with that. You guys were raised to deal with what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? You guys were raised, no disrespect, but you guys were raised in this in the single parent mentality. You guys were raised in the niggas ain't ish mentality. So when a guy does try to check on you, probably you brush them off as being too nice, or you brush them off as being too soft, or you brush them off as, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is. So, you know, it is too much for guys who, because this is the thing, what most of these black women do. This is what a lot of these black women do, and also other women too. I'm starting to see with a lot of other women too, not just black women, but a lot of other women too. They have kids with these deadbeat fathers, and then they expect resources from the nigga who's really getting it, and don't have kids, and is free of kids. That's how they operate, bro. I mean, it's sad, but you know, that's how they do it, bro. It's really sad, but I mean, what can we do? It's worked out in our favor. Let me tell you something in regards to me. You know, I'm African, you know, proud, unapologetically African, you know what I mean? Cut from South Central LA, so I know about the particulars of dealing with women out there. You know, at first I was like, you know, in essence, when I first got here and stuff like that, getting familiar, just getting down with everything that was around me, adapting to my surroundings. So I said, you know, I like black women from here. They're pretty, they're beautiful, things like that. I was of that impression, you know what I mean? But then by me witnessing and dealing with them myself, I just realized like, nah, man, I can't deal with them. I can't settle down with them. You feel me? So luckily, I never had that. I never got trapped, you know, in having kids with them, you know, because the thing is, I realized like, man, I'm an old school nigga, like, and dealing with them, I would have to spend more time reprogramming their brain than I would have to getting my bags. You know what I mean? And I said, I don't want to do that. You know, it's either you get it or you don't in my school. You know what I mean? So that's why I didn't do that. And then, you know, I was just talking to other people, and they were like, and this is not any disrespect or anything like that, but they were like, nigga, you African, okay? You got another place to go. You got another place to, but then I said, y'all got another place to go too. All y'all have to do is get a passport and look at other black women from every other place. It like clicked on us all at one time. I remember we were sitting in a round table. Clear, I'll remember this. We were sitting on a round table. Me and a couple of homies were sitting in a round table. You know what I mean? And we were just kind of used to seeing what we see on our turf. But then, you know, something just like clicked in my head at the time. I say, do you realize that there's other black people around the world? Although they don't show us these black peoples around the world. So it just led to us researching. And then you just find black people in Colombia, black women in Brazil, black people in Dominican Republic, black people in freaking Venezuela, black people in freaking, heck, even in Saudi Arabia, black people in all Arab Gulf states, okay? And so it just makes you expand your mind, okay? Meaning it makes you work towards something else. So you can start something good. You know, a couple of my friends have done that. A couple of my friends have taken heed and they've married black women from other places. You know, even the basketball player Joel Embiid, you know, Cameroonian, he married a Brazilian. You know what I mean? So the reason why black men don't approach these American black women anymore is because they're realizing they have a lot of options now. And they should use these options, because I'm going to tell you something. Black men are desired by other women, other black women throughout the world, because they realize how much what they really are, what we really are. And so instead of dealing with toxic black women here, you can go elsewhere and have your pick of the litter. Whereas the opposite is happening with black women, because what you see now is and this is happening in LA too a lot. This is definitely happening in LA a lot too. More black women are going to white guys, and they're not going to white guys because they're physically attracted to them. They're going to them because they're financially stable. Okay? It has nothing to do with physical attraction. But at the same time, they treat those white guys better than they will a black dude. But let's continue. It's almost done anyway.
And it's just so frustrating because it's like, I'm just myself.
But you brought it upon yourself, okay? So yes, it is going to be frustrating. You brought it upon yourself. You guys were the ones who bought into what was preached to you guys. So hey, it is what it is. You know, that's just it. I don't have any sympathy for them. You know, because they brought this upon themselves. Okay? That's the thing. They brought it upon themselves. And there's many factors that brought this upon them too. For example, even a woman who may be, because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her, but obviously she doesn't work out. You know, listen, bro, I work out. I train hard. I want my woman to look like she work out and train hard and still be modest. I was checking her Instagram the other day, and there's this one female, you know, she's still working out and still modest at the same time. Okay? Keeps up her body. You can tell, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I mean, look at her arms. Like, you can tell it's like flabby. And so if you're on your tip and if you're doing what you need to do, a dude is not going to want to entertain a sloppy woman. A dude is not going to want to entertain that woman who goes out with her friends, wears these short, skimpy clothes with the high heels on and all the makeup and things like that, and walks so people can notice and so people can look at them. These are the same women who go to the club and you see their Instagram stories, and all they're doing is just taking selfies with one another and looking cute. I'm sorry to say this, but honestly, only a weak man wants like an Instagram type model woman. A real nigga is gonna want that woman who's gonna know how to build a household. That's what a real nigga is gonna want. He's gonna want a woman who knows how to run a household. And a lot of these women, especially these black women, have not been trained to run a household. So it's no disrespect. It is what it is. I'm keeping it no filtered. And that's just it, bro. Will it get better for them? I don't know. I really don't know. You know, I can't tell if it will get better for them or not. But to my brothers, keep at it, bro. Starve them. Because they're the ones who brought it on you. I'm pretty sure there's some brothers out here who are going to listen to this, and they're going to remember the time they tried to approach a black woman and she just was just very disrespectful and just pretty much crushed his ego, even if he was polite in the matter, you know? So, to my brothers, and a reminder to me too, keep your guard up, stay on your square, stack your money, and just stay 10 toes down, man. Don't worry about these toxic women. And then the last thing too, a lot of these women will say I'm a misogynist. A lot of these women will say I'm a woman hater. A lot of these women will say I have mom issues, things like that. But that's what they all do when they don't want to take responsibility for things that they caused. That's what they always do. They try to reflect it back and say, oh, well, you know, you're just saying that because you have mom issues and things like that. When really the niggas who call black men, when really the niggas who say the black woman is God and call women goddesses and call them queens, those are the ones with issues. In freaking Africa, I never once heard my dad refer to my mom as a queen. Also, I never saw my dad argue with my mother. Never. I never even saw my dad raise his voice at my mom. Never, ever did I see that. Okay? So our philosophies and our state of minds are always going to be different. You know, but it is what it is, bro. I mean, this is what they asked for. And I'm pretty sure if dudes did approach her and her friends, that they would have gave those dudes the cold shoulders anyway. As I said, it's about having their cake and eating it too. I remember there was this one video, and it had one woman. She was crying that she wasn't approached by any black men in the club. I think it was in Canada that it happened. Well, maybe black men could sniff from a mile away, because little did we know this woman rode a carousel with a Polish dude and had a baby from him. Maybe they knew, maybe they could sense something right away. I'm not going to even lie to you. Even with the sprinter that just got caught, that I made a video for previously, already sensed something before she got caught. Already has a scent that I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, she's fast and something and things like that, but something's up with her. Something's not right with her demeanor. I'm like, something's not going right with her demeanor. And lo and behold, she tests positive for weed. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just going to end this video like this, okay? When you live in South Central, or let's just say when you're an immigrant, right? You live in South Central for most of your time here, okay? You witness and see things up close. I've been set up by these black women, but luckily I have protection. Spiritual protection and also physical protection. I've been seeing what black women can do to the homies, getting a homie washed up. I've seen it up close and personal to know the tricks and the turns that they will do. So nothing surprises me anymore. In fact, I always have my guard up when it comes to the certain things that I see. You know, it doesn't take much for me to see, for me to know, okay, something's off. For example, Velvet, and the ones who know will know who I'm referring to. The ones who follow these fake hoteps. Velvet, Natiri, I already knew something was off with them from the jump. I'm like, yeah, something's off with these females, man. And I also knew something was off with Velvet's supporters as well. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but most of her supporters are either A, single women who can't get men, B, they're single parents. That's just it. You know, so this is my last word for my guys, for my brothers. And I'm talking about my brothers from my fellow brothers from the continent, talking about my brothers from the Caribbean, talking about my brothers here in the United States. Get right with God and continue to strive to get right with God. Chase your bags, chase learning new things so it can give you a heightened awareness of how these females operate. Because with this female, she's not necessarily upset that she didn't find anybody or nobody showed interest. She's upset that her ego was not puffed up by her getting the chance to reject someone who maybe would have approached her. But anyhow, man, leave your comments and leave your thoughts on this. Foolish signing out. Njah Rama.